Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to the first episode of the Masters with Harshith podcast. Today I have with me Ram, who is a data science, incoming data science student at Colombia. So as you've seen my LinkedIn posts, I've been covering things about how to get into a computer science and information systems master's program. But a lot of people have been reaching out about how they can make it to other programs like data science, MEM, and so on and so forth. And through these episodes, this is my effort to bring in people who've gotten into good universities in all these programs and hear from them what they did and what they've been doing to get where they are. So, hi Ram, welcome to
Thank you
this
for
episode.
having me here. Thank
Awesome. So Ram, a lot of people these days, everyone's talking about data science, and it's really an industry buzzword, right?
Sure.
So, what do you think data science is? Like, how would you put it to a 10-year-old if you were explaining it to a 10-year-old?
Explaining data science to a 10-year-old might be a little difficult,
Right.
but I would say that today every single thing we do is constantly being monitored,
Mhm.
and our information, our data is constantly being collected. So using that data which is being collected to make a prediction. Now the prediction could be about whether a person is prone to cancer, about the stock market, what's going to happen to the stock market, what's going to happen to the weather, uh, whether what songs I want to listen to.
Mhm.
It could be anything of that sort. So it's basically making predictions. You either predict numbers or predict categories, classify people or classify things into different categories, or you predict numbers. So in very, very, very layman's terms, I think data science is the art of prediction with data.
Got it. So this is like an all-pervasive field, and I think it is rightly, a really hot term in the business right now. So, Ram, what made you pick up data science? What made you really pick up data science?
So throughout engineering, I did my undergrad in computer science from Bangalore.
Okay.
And throughout my first and second year, I didn't really enjoy it too much.
Mhm.
It just felt like I was learning a lot, but I didn't really feel like I was going to be able to put it into use. But I had an internship in Florida, which was a 2-month internship, a research internship on machine learning, and that was like my first step into machine learning or data science.
Nice.
And that's when I realized it's very mathematical.
Okay.
To actually be able to understand the models, how they work, we need to know a lot of math, and I love math.
Okay.
So that's when I realized that it's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And I tried to do a few more things in it. I tried doing projects, and I realized that I'm really getting hooked onto it. And I was, one amongst the lucky few who can say that I found my passion, my genuine passion, very, very early.
I think that is really lucky.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So, Ram, how is a data science degree different from like a computer science degree with like a machine learning focus or something like that? How would you when you were applying, what made you apply for like the data science degree exclusively rather than the CS with machine learning or something like that?
So for a master's program, two things. One was that the job opportunities,
Mhm.
definitely after a computer science degree with an ML specialization or a data science specialization, I will still be able to get software engineering jobs.
Okay.
With a data science degree, I think it's slightly tougher because you're specializing in that domain unless you have working. So I have worked for 2 years as a software engineer at Cisco.
Right.
So initially I thought I never enjoyed software engineering, but once I did it in a corporate space, it was good. But I realized that that's not what I would like to do in the future. So data science, a degree in data science would sort of essentially close off other domains and job opportunities,
Right.
and would sort of restrict you a little bit more towards data science, machine learning engineer,
Right.
those kind of roles, analysts, those kind of things. And another huge difference is basically in any master's course, you know that you have core requirements and electives.
Mhm.
So in any CS degree, most of the core electives will have like a theory subject, an application subject,
Right.
those kind of things. I'll have to do web development, I'll have to do OS, I'll have to do data structures, algorithms all over again.
Right.
So one of my biggest criteria was I don't want to do the subjects because I did them in my undergrad. I didn't think it would make too much sense for me to do them again, given that I didn't like them in the first place.
Got it. I think that's a very important point you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
For people who are coming from a traditional CS background and they do not want to pick up subjects like algorithms or data structures or databases again,
Okay.
right? So they can go towards data science, which is a more application or a more industry oriented.
You're diving deeper into
certain
subjects,
subjects.
and your core electives will also be related to data science. So all my core electives at Colombia are related to machine learning.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, through the previous answer, you were talking about a bit of your background, right? So, can you just give a detail? Where did you do your undergraduate degree from? What was it like for you? Where did you intern? What was your work experience like?
So, I did my undergrad in computer science from RV College of Engineering in Bangalore. In my first year, I interned with an NGO because we didn't really have any CS knowledge at that point of time. But then after my second year, I interned in Florida International University, which was a research internship in machine learning for 2 months. Then I interned with Samsung as a research intern again, and I worked on computer vision. After my third year, I interned with Cisco. That was a full 6-month internship. And then I got into Cisco as a full-time employee. And apart from that, I also had an industry project with Nokia, which was my first entry into time series analysis. So that is again when I realized that even this is something I really enjoy. And my Cisco internship, I was really lucky to be paired with someone who was as passionate about machine learning as me. So he really pushed me into time series data, and I learned a lot in that Cisco internship. And apart from that, I also have 3 paper publications.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and that's about it. My GPA is about 9.23. And yeah, so I do have a good mix of, and I also work for 2 years. So I have internships.
Was your work experience related to data science, machine learning, or was that like full stack? What was it more?
It was more of application development using AWS. A lot of my work was on cloud. But I did get a few ML projects here and there.
So it was not, the 2 years was not full of machine learning, but you did do it in bits and pieces.
Yeah, and one of my papers actually came in those 2 years. So while I was working at Cisco, I was getting bored of the work I was doing. So I spent the evening hours of my first year of work sitting and like working on a paper.
So that's very interesting. I think a lot of people keep asking, I've graduated already, can I go back and do papers? I think you can easily get motivation from this guy right here. That's nice. So, I mean, did you author the paper when you were working during your 9 to 5? Did you do the paper yourself, or did you have university people, your professors, students? What was it like for you?
So this was the third paper I had worked on. So I sort of had an idea of what writing a paper was like. And the idea also came to me because of my Cisco internship. We had thought of adding a feature related to anomaly detection for time series data, but we could never work on that because the 6 months were over. So I thought I'll go back and do it myself. So it was me and my friend had done it, and we worked on it together.
That's nice. That's really amazing, man. Congratulations. So, Ram, what are your career aspirations like? So you said that you took data science because although it kind of restricts you towards data analysts, data science, and machine learning engineers, is that where you see yourself, or like how do you see it right now?
Yeah, I would honestly definitely see myself doing data science in the long run. I would like to work for 4-5 years, become a research scientist.
So again, a more technical person.
Yeah, a more technical person.
Got it.
I don't really see myself in the management field as of now.
Interesting.
And maybe in the future, I'm a very big cricket fan, so the end goal is to sort of do some data analytics for cricket, maybe for the BCCI if possible.
I think the IPL teams in India, they already have their own, so you want to do it on a larger scale. Makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, Ram, what brought you to Colombia? Like, what differentiated Colombia to you from the other universities you applied to? What universities did you apply to? And what is your course structure looking like?
Okay, so that's a lot of questions. Let's go by them.
Sure.
So I applied to about 11 universities. Actually, listed one.
You can please.
Yeah. So I applied to Carnegie Mellon. I applied to Georgia Tech.
Were they all data science degrees only over there?
Yes, all data science degrees, all computer science with ML specializations, but all the core electives were again in ML. So Georgia Tech has a MS and CS with an ML specialization. They have, I think, 9 specializations, but all the specializations have different core requirements.
So it's essentially, you did your research and you picked up subjects that you are only interested in. So I think that's very important as well. So before you apply to university, look at what the course structure is and understand if it's really interesting to you.
Yeah, I think looking at the course was the biggest. I mean, I was wondering like how will I know what universities to apply to? But once I went to the courses, I could easily identify, okay, this is something I would be interested in, and this is something which is not that great.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So okay, so what brought you to Colombia? So compared to Carnegie Mellon and all those things like.
So I mean I got into University of Michigan, I got into UCSD, I got into Columbia, I got into University of Wisconsin, Madison, and a few others.
Right.
But I was ultimately torn between Columbia, UMich, and UCSD.
Okay.
The reason I picked Columbia is honestly because of the US market right now. The job scene isn't very great.
Right.
People weren't getting internships while we were picking colleges. Like it was about
it was a little difficult.
7-8 months ago.
Absolutely.
People weren't getting internships. People weren't getting jobs. But I saw that almost everyone from the data science batch in Colombia had internships and jobs.
Interesting.
And the thing with UMich was that.
So how did you figure this? Sorry to cut you off. How did you figure this out? Did you reach out to people?
Yes.
Or did you reach out to current students, or did you reach out to like the university team? What was it like?
So I went through LinkedIn. That was I think.
Great. I think this is what I've been telling all of my friends on connections.
I think LinkedIn.
You've got to reach out to
yes.
people. Right.
So I just had the same message.
Okay.
And like a nice polite message
Right.
saying, I've applied here, I might get it.
Right.
I want to know more about the course, what's the job opportunity,
Right.
so on and so forth. And I sent it to about 20-30 people.
Right.
And typically because they have done the same thing, they will definitely.
Correct. They want to give back as well, so makes sense.
So at least 10-15 people replied to me. I understood what they did and what their opportunities are looking like. You can just search for MS. Suppose you're applying for data science, you can just search for MS in data science, Columbia University.
Right.
All those people will come up and look at their internships.
Absolutely. I think this is what even I did when I was applying. So if I was applying to Colombia, I just type MSCS Colombia, and like text like 20 people, like 2-3 would reply in that.
It is one of the most important steps.
Correct. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. So now, what does your program structure look like? How many semesters is it? How long is it? And how many subjects do you take? What is it?
Okay, so at Columbia, all the master's degrees are for 1.5 years, which is 3 semesters. So we have to take 4 subjects per semester, which is quite hectic. I mean, for all the MS programs, it's quite hectic at Columbia. Most colleges have a 2-year program where you still have the same 10 or 12 courses, but we have to take 10 courses over a span of 3 semesters with 4, and 2. So initially this semester I'm looking at applied machine learning, applied deep learning. I'm also looking at exploratory data analysis.
That's a subject in itself?
All together. Exploratory data analysis and visualization. It's one subject.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I'm also looking at probability and statistics. Because again, I love math.
I you're coming back to that, yes. So are there specializations in data science, like I want to do towards just text, I want to do just towards tabular data? Are there specializations in the degree like that? Or?
In the degree as of now, that there aren't any specializations, but you would sort of inherently have a specialization depending on which subject you pick. So again, because I love math, I am looking at the number side of things.
Right.
I am not into NLP as much. A lot of people want to pick up NLP, a lot of people are into the generative AI space.
Right.
I should get into that ideally because that is what is booming right now, but I would prefer getting into the numerical aspect of machine learning and stick to that. So I will pick my subject like that. Again, I would like to do time series analysis, those kind of things, and see what happens, like forecasting and stuff like that.
So more towards the math side of things.
Yes. So I mean, there's no exact specialization as of now. I mean, data science degree itself is a specialization, but yeah, you have to pick your subjects correctly to sort of figure out what your recruiter will know, right? What subject you pick, and based on that, what your specialization is.
Makes sense. So you pick courses you like and you tailor your degree in that.
That's the difference between the Indian education system and the US education system. Here, at least in our college, we could not pick our own subjects. We had a set of subjects and study all of them.
Yeah, I think even for me at NIT Warangal, for namesake we had electives. I think we 2 subjects were electives in the entire 4 years. So rest were 4 like electives for namesake. Yeah.
So here it's very different. All the subjects you can pick yourself.
Correct.
And you can decide a schedule and everything. So
right. So now, in general, what is the class size at Columbia for data science? Do you have an idea about those things?
For data science, I'm not too sure, but it's approximately, I think, 180 people.
180 people.
So
I think that's like a general class size across a lot of MS programs. So
yes. I know a few programs have a very small class size of 30 people. I know Stanford's data science program has a class size of 5 people.
5 people.
5 people. I didn't even apply.
No way.
because-
Yeah, 5 is insane.
So I had Stanford, right?
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
Colombia has 180 people, which is I think
It's a good size, it's a decent size. Yeah. Nice. So I think you've covered a lot of things throughout your answers and the questions I was going to ask you in the future as well. So there are just 2-3 questions left, and I'll just cover them up fast. So, so how much does your program at Colombia cost, and like how are you planning on funding it? What are you planning on doing in college? And
so. The program costs around I think $72,000 for the entire
just tuition.
tuition part of it,
Right,
of course.
right.
So then, and unfortunately or fortunately, Colombia is in New York,
Right.
and it's a bloody expensive place to be honest.
I agree. I mean, being here for a week, I can see the numbers.
Yeah. Everything is expensive. The cost
Okay.
of living, the rent, everything, moving around is quite
Right,
expensive.
right.
So yeah, it does break you a little bit,
Right.
but I mean, again, I was looking at the job opportunities, the it's like an investment according to
Right.
me. Whatever you put in is what you will get back.
Absolutely.
Earning that back will happen quite fast, hopefully,
Tough.
and I'm funding it myself.
Makes sense. Got it. So how do you prepare for the application? You're writing your LOR, your SOP. How did you do it? How long did you take? And was there something? How did you usually when I tell people, I tell them, look at your life as a story.
Definitely.
And like your project, your internship, see how they all form one coherent story.
Exactly,
So
yes.
how long did it take you? What did you do? Because for me, I was blocked at certain stages, so I had to take like 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and then come back, read it, and then continue. What was it like for you?
For me, again, I was very lucky because I knew exactly what I wanted to do,
Right.
and I didn't plan it that way. But all my projects,
It all fit in.
It all fit into a common story. So again, all the projects I took up during engineering were
Right.
essentially only data science projects. So
Right.
even if it was a web development project, I included some part of machine learning in it to feel happy about it.
Right.
So all my projects, whichever I included on my SOP, on my resume, they
Right.
made sense with regards to my story.
Makes sense.
So I took about 2.5 months for GRE, about 3-4 days for TOEFL.
Right, TOEFL.
And
TOEFL is very easy, right?
Yeah,
Like I
TOEFL,
told you.
yeah.
Once you've done your GRE, TOEFL is a
TOEFL,
TOEFL.
yeah.
Right.
Definitely do GRE much before TOEFL.
Right. So Aram, if I may ask, what was your GRE and TOEFL score like?
I got a 331 on my GRE. I
Okay.
think I got a 168 and a 163.
Okay.
168 in quant and 163 in verbal. Which is, I mean,
Correct.
whichever
That's
higher is
yeah,
what you
that's
call it.
true quant, probably,
So
yes.
and I got a 117 on 120 in my TOEFL.
Great, that's a very good score.
Yeah.
That's nice. So Ram, coming towards the end of this particular episode, if you were giving a tip to all those applying to the US for the masters and maybe Colombia data science aspirants in particular, what would you tell them to do? Is there something, maybe your SOP, did you include some special paragraph, like did you mention anything special in Colombia that you want? Because there's always like one university specific paragraph.
Yes.
So what really did you do in that?
So, I mean, I did have research papers, but I think I genuinely feel that, I mean, I had a good CGPA, I had research papers, I had good internships, I had an internship in the US.
Right.
But I really felt like my game changer was my SOP because I was essentially able to project a story very well.
Right.
And the college specific research is very important. I think more than understanding which college I want to go to, I spent more time doing research about each college once I picked it.
Right.
So that took me a solid like 2-3 days per college looking at professors. So I think when you're writing your SOP, I think you have to mention which professors you want to work under. You have to mention which courses you want to do, and you also have to mention which labs you want to be a part of.
Makes sense.
And the labs part, it sort of has a twofold function. It shows that you are doing your research about the college, but also gives you an opportunity to give back to the college.
Correct.
So that becomes your point of I can contribute to Colombia using my expertise in this domain, and I contribute well to this lab. So I think that was really helpful. And reach out to people, reach out to seniors, and again, your master's degree is not your goal, it is a step towards your goal. So never project your college like it's your goal, just project it as a step towards your goal. Try to have, and be as authentic as possible. I think making up a bullshit story.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. people ask me like, do universities ask for certificates and this and that? I tell them, see, they look through thousands of SOPs.
Yeah.
So even though you bullshit, they'll know it's bullshit, and if you don't get in, it's probably because of that, right?
True, that's very true.
So I think you've mentioned a lot of very, very good points. In the SOP, people, it's not just about what you're taking away.
True.
People want to know how you can give back as well. And if you can put that in, right, that would be a very, very good differentiating factor.
Yeah.
Great, Ram. I think this was super helpful. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are watching this will find it really helpful as well. Thank you so much for your time. And if you guys think this is good, please subscribe and like follow this particular channel, because we are going to have a lot of speakers coming up in the next week, in the next coming weeks as well. So if you guys really want to have a look at what the entire master's process is, how you shortlist universities and things like that, please check the description, and you'll have a link to the Google form. Thank you.
Thank you.